My husband Owen, 39M, and I, 27F, have been trying for a baby for years with no luck. I would be happy to adopt, but Owen's family is against it, and they have influenced my husband to also be against it. After our second year of trying, I begged my husband to go with me to get a checkup to see if either of us or both of us is infertile. He was strongly opposed to this, as all the men in his family are extremely fertile, but eventually gave in. As it turns out, his sperm count is extremely low. He was heartbroken, as was I, and we both got therapy. After a year of no longer trying, I luckily did find myself pregnant, only to lose the baby partway due to complications, and we were beyond devastated. Owen blamed himself and proposed that we start the process of getting into a family planning center for a sperm donor, to which I agreed. He asked me that we not tell either of our families about this or our friends, and I agreed because I would never want to emasculate him. With the help of our donor, I was able to successfully become pregnant, and we had our little girl last year. She is healthy and progressing amazingly, and I thank God for her every day. I kept my promise and never told anyone. However, Owen is struggling to connect with our little girl. Last month, when he went out of town with his brothers for their friend's bachelor party, Owen let slip to his brothers about our infertility issues and that our baby wasn't biologically his. One of his brothers must have told his wife, who then told my husband's mother. I don't know why she would tell my husband's mother, except that she has never liked me and wanted to be malicious. Their mother then came to our house and called me a lying bleep and tried to get my husband to leave with her. He just stood there silently. I told her that it was Owen's decision not to tell anyone, and she asked him if this was true. Again, he was silent, which his mother took as me being the liar. She then went to our nursery and started taking everything she'd ever given us for the baby back. I told her I didn't care about it and that I made more than enough to buy everything she gave us myself, and of better quality. This set her off, and she called my baby a piece of filth who didn't belong in her family. When she said that, I did something I know was harsh, but I believe she deserved it. I shoved her out the door and threw all her things out with her. After emotions had calmed down, I realized my husband had said nothing when his mother was berating me, calling me a liar, and when she insulted our child. When I asked him why he was silent, he said he wasn't raised to be disrespectful the way I was, and that his mother hadn't said anything that wasn't true, she was just hurtful with what she'd said. He told me to just let it go and wait for his mother to forgive us. I told him that I would never let it go, that his mother and anyone who agreed with her were not welcome in our home, and that I don't need to be forgiven when I've done nothing wrong. He then said the house was his, and as the head of the family, it was his decision. I said, fine, but why did you allow her to call me a liar and a bleep? Those things are not true, and she insulted our child by saying she was a piece of filth. He just repeated that he would not argue with his mother. After that, I stopped speaking to him and started gathering up my daughter's things and purse. Then I walked out the door with her. He tried to stop me and told me I couldn't take his daughter anywhere without him, and I lost the little bit of composure I had left. I told him she wasn't his daughter, that he had proved he didn't see her as his daughter when he had allowed his mother to insult her and remained still. He broke down into tears and begged me to come back inside, but at the time, I felt nothing. He just looked so pathetic. Now, me and my baby are back home with my parents and I have explained the situation to them. They are completely supportive of my decision and are not allowing my spineless husband anywhere near us, as he still refuses to apologize to me or set the record straight with his family. However, I told the truth to one of the sister-in-laws that I was close to, and she told the rest of his family. Half of his family is understanding, while the other side is on his mother's side, but they all are mad at my husband. I need time to cool down, but I know eventually my husband and I need to figure out our marriage. One thing is for certain, I will not return to that house until he apologizes to me and promises to protect me and his daughter fiercely. I want to see this in action, starting with him telling his mother that what she did was wrong and banning her from coming to see us until she asks for my forgiveness. We were also planning on having more children, as he wants a big family, but that is off the table as I don't believe he is ready, and we both need to get back into therapy. Update 1. Thank you everyone for your words of encouragement and advice. Apparently, after I left my husband's house, my mother-in-law, brother-in-law, and brother-in-law's wife accused me of cheating. I had already begun speaking with a lawyer after Owen refused to tell the truth to his family, but knowing he let them tell other people I cheated is like getting punched in the stomach. I'm now renting a nice 2-bedroom apartment that my siblings and their partners have helped me furnish, and my top priority is ensuring my baby has everything she needs. Currently, I'm working to create a cozy nursery for her and hiring a nanny. Facing the end of my marriage is terrifying, but I'm learning to accept my new reality. When I notified Owen that I was going to file for divorce, he started calling and messaging nonstop. His messages ranged from begging me to come home, telling me he would tell the truth and get therapy again, begging to see our baby, and then threatening to drag me home. I told him the divorce was happening whether he liked it or not because he failed as a husband and failed even worse as a parent. He then sent photos and videos of my things in the garbage and his brother and him trashing the nursery. His exact words were, "I don't need it anymore." In the most disturbing video, he threw our baby's car seat in a dumpster. I do not recognize him or his behavior anymore. He claims to miss his daughter and me, but is trying to make his behavior my fault for not doing what I'm told. This is not the man I agreed to marry. The man I married was smart, kind, gentle, thoughtful, and funny, but this fondness from him was waiting for me the moment I didn't obey and take the disrespect from his family to save him from the humiliation of his infertility. Before the fallout with his mother, he was nothing like this. It's certainly not an excuse, but I believe it all centered on him feeling emasculated and humiliated by his family. I just can't believe he couldn't at least stand up to his family for me and our baby, the one he said he would give his all for. I'm not blocking Owen, as my lawyer said to email everything he says to me to him, but the constant threatening messages make me scared to leave my home. Owen knows where I work and has repeatedly told me he will drag us back if that's what it takes, and that I'm making him do this. My lawyer and I are working on a restraining order, but every woman who was wronged by her ex-husband knows restraining orders don't keep you safe. And now, the main reason why I decided to update, my father-in-law suddenly showed up on my parents' doorsteps. He asked to speak with me, and my parents told him they would call me and ask, but if I said no, then that was final and he would not be welcomed back. I only agreed to speak to him because he told my parents he was there to apologize for his family and set the record straight. My dad called me as I had my father-in-law blocked, and when I picked up, my father-in-law immediately apologized for his wife's behavior. He wanted to hear my side of the story as he did not believe I cheated. I thanked him and let him know, of course, I did not cheat, and I told him of his son's infertility and that Owen proposed we get a donor. I told him very clearly it was his son's decision, and that because my father-in-law and his family put blood as the only valid form of family, my husband made me lie so our child would be treated equally. After I finished, he seemed stunned. He was quiet for a while, then asked if his wife and son could come over and see my daughter in person, as they missed us and were ready to be a family again. However, I told him no. He then asked if there was anything Owen could do to fix the marriage, and I again told him no. He tried to say I was being unfair, but my dad stepped in and said he was overstaying his welcome. Before I hung up, I told my father-in-law that his son was sending me abusive messages daily, and if he truly was sorry, then he should make his son stop. My parents said my father-in-law was irritated that I did not respectfully say goodbye or give Owen a chance to save his marriage, but he left with little fuss after my parents laid into him about raising a son that threatens his wife and child. Telling his father must have worked because I haven't gotten a single message from Owen since then. I do not want anything from my soon-to-be ex, not child support, not alimony, not the house, or any of his other assets. I just need him to agree to the divorce and give up his parental rights so my little girl can grow up with a family who loves her unconditionally. I have a good degree and a great job, and my child and I will be fine without him. Owen's lawyer has made it clear they're going to fight us for full custody, and my soon-to-be ex has significantly more money than me, but my lawyer is confident in our case, and I trust them. Today, my mother-in-law has been trying to contact me, saying she wants to be in my daughter's life and that she is ready to accept her as she is. As if my daughter needs to be accepted by her to exist. If it's up to me, their family will never see us again.